Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I hope you are all safe and well. My name is Fadi Wabak. I'm your new geography teacher, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you all and having a great semester. I'm sure we'll all have a great time together. So, for starters, I'd like you to review where you stopped from your last lesson. I believe that where you stopped was the topic about mountains. So here are a few questions just to recap you with where you stopped or paused. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of tourism? And what is a national park? And what are the activities people do when visiting a mountain? Okay, so that's for your previous lesson. Let's start our lesson for today. What you'll need, year six, for this lesson is your geography book, your copybook, and you'll need a pencil, sharpener, and eraser. So unit three, we're gonna start a new topic today. It's gonna be about coasts. It's a very interesting topic, not complicated at all. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so topic, first headline is changing coastlines. So over the many years, the wave on the sea changes the shape of countries as they build new land in some places and wear it away in others. Even beaches are constantly changing because of waves, winds, and tides. All right. So now we have the longshore drift. I'm sure this is a new word for all of you. Don't worry, we'll slowly get to the definition and you'll understand it further. So waves can move sand and pebbles along the shore. And this happens in places where the prevailing wind blows the waves towards the shore at an angle. And instead of flowing back in the direction it came from, the water from the wave goes straight back down the beach. And then, if there's any sand or pebbles carried by the waves, also slowly travel along the shore in a zigzag pattern. So this is called, this movement is defined as the longshore drift. I have a shorter definition on the right, just in case all of this seems a little bit complicated. So in shorter terms, what longshore drift means is the slow movement of pieces of rocks along the beach when waves move towards the shore at an angle. All right? So the slow movement of pieces of rocks along the beach when waves move towards the shore at an angle. That's what longshore drift means. In this diagram, you'll all find it in page 32. And this picture describes how longshore drift can move pebbles along a beach. Okay, so it shows you the arrows of how where the positions are and how the approach of the beach is at an angle. And you can look at this furtherly in page 32 and you could understand it even more. So what problems are caused by longshore drift? This happens over a long period of time, and longshore drift can carry the whole beach away along the coast. And this can happen in as short as 1 year. So some holiday resorts or hotels, to be even more precise, must pour or pump sand onto their beaches to replace the sand that has been carried away by longshore drift. Okay, now we have another new word. So what is deposition? Keep in mind, year six, I put, as you can see, there are some words that have characters in red. So these are the words that we're gonna define today in the class. Don't worry, I have all the definitions written down in the next slide. So we'll go through them one by one. So when something on the coastline, such as a bay or the mouth of a river, makes the wave move more slowly, they no longer have the energy to carry sand and shingle. So the waves then slow down and deposit or drop the materials they were carrying. And over time, the sand and shingle drop may pile so high that they form a ridge across a part of the bay or river mouth. So this ridge is called a spit. And sometimes a spit grows all the way across the bay. It is then called a bar. And there's a shallow pool of water that will be trapped behind that bar, which is then called a lagoon. You guys get it? No worries. If you didn't, I have all the definitions in this next slide for us to understand even better. So basically, a deposition is the laying down of sediment carried by wind, water, or ice. The sediment can be transported as pebbles, sand, and mud, or as salt dissolved in water. So that's for deposition. As for a bar, it is a ridge of sand or shingle across a bay or river mouth. Okay? And then you have a spit, which is a ridge of sand or shingle joined to the land at one end and sticking out into the sea at the other. All right? You guys can go over these definitions one or a few times, and you can read the previous page, and I'm sure you guys will completely get the point. It's not really that difficult. So now we have a picture of 3 different coastlines. You will find these pictures on page 33 of your geography books. So we have a coast on the left, a coast in the center, and a coast on the right. So the coast on the left is a farewell spit on South Island in New Zealand, which is 26 kilometers long, with another 6 kilometers underwater. Wow, that's really impressive and amazing. And then you have the one in the center, which is the longest bar in Europe. It's called Castle Beach in Dorset in England, which is about 16 kilometers long. And it encloses a lagoon called the Fleet. So the one on the right shows that if a bar grows so that it is always above sea level, it may form an island called a barrier island. Hatteras Island is a barrier island located off the North Carolina coast of the United States of America. So that's an example. So year 6, I'd like you to closely look at these 3 different coastlines, and you can easily compare them in between yourselves and try and distinguish the differences. For your homework year 6, I'd like you to answer the questions on your workbook on page 32 and 33. I'd also like you to watch the following videos. These are hyperlinks. Just as long as you click the link, I've already made a hyperlink in them. So if you click them, they'll automatically redirect you to the YouTube page. So the first one is what is coastal erosion, how caves, arches, and stacks are formed, and how sand spits and bars, and then there's bars and lagoons. I really hope you enjoyed this lesson year 6. It wasn't really that difficult. You can go through the diagrams again. If you go through the pages 1 or 2 times, you'd completely understand along with the definitions. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I'm really looking forward in seeing you and having a great year with you. It will be my pleasure teaching you all. Thank you for listening to this, and have a great weekend.